Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. It's been a while since I've done a book review, but I got caught up in the TikTok book hype for Incidents Around the House. I love horror. I love scary things. Halloween's awesome. I've always tried to find really good scary books. And this was the one that you just look it up on TikTok. There's like 1,000 videos of people saying how great and wonderful and awesome this book is. So, I was pretty high up. My standards the bar was set high. And not only did this book not clear the bar, it didn't knock over the bar. It flew way under the bar. I don't know what people loved about this, but let's get into, Incidents Around the House. It's a story. What I loved. It's told from the perspective of the little girl. She's being haunted or pursued by a demon or a ghoul or a shade, something. We don't get any answers of exactly what this thing is, but it has physical form. It can be touched. It is coming after her and wants to take over her. It wants to in its own words, let me into your heart. It wants to replace the child. In the beginning, you think, okay, imaginary friend, is it real? Is this really happening? And that's the whole story. The parents are having their issues, and this little girl's trying to cope with family issues, and then having this scary thing happen to her. So, I'm thinking, is this going to be psychological, where it's like, we don't know if this thing is real? Is it going to really, is it she just made it up? Is she trying to, having some type of mental response to everything that the parents are going through and being sad about all that. So she made up this scenario, and in her mind, she believes it's real, but it's not really real in reality. No, none of that. It doesn't even entertain that idea. You find out right away pretty quickly that this is an actual entity. And I thought they could have played that out a little more. Also, the title, Incidents Around the House. One, all the incidents take place in the girl's bedroom, specifically the closet. So it's not incidents around the house. And then they get away from the house and they're on a road trip, they're driving around. And so a lot of incidents happen away from the house. So I don't know why it's called that. I know they kind of make a reference. This is, spoilers. Okay. Before I get into talking about the actual why I didn't like it, because there's no way to talk about it without it spoiling the whole book. This is a low recommend. It's a 4 out of 10. 5 being average. So 5 isn't a fail. 4 isn't a fail. A fail is more like a 2 or a 3. This isn't a complete fail. It's okay. Just don't buy into the hype of the TikTok trends, because it just isn't there yet. It's just okay. It could have been so much better if they would have tightened some things up in the ending. Bleh, I hated the ending. So that's it. From here on out, spoilers. So this little girl has this creature coming after her, and I think nothing's really answered. We don't get answers. That's another thing I really hate. There is no answers. We don't know if it's a ghost. We don't know if it's a spirit. We don't know if it's a monster. We don't know if it's an eldritch being. We don't know anything. I'm thinking, I was leaning towards something more Japanese, they have those, the Junon ghosts and stuff like that. The spirit, it kind of it had that kind of feeling to it. And also very spider-like, hairy legs, its face being upside down. But again, that's very Japanese, and it had its face in its hands at one point. And in my mind, I'm like, so it was floating in her hands, or her face was like Vampire Hunter D. There was a face in her hands. It again, your imagination makes the best kind of monsters. But it wants to, slowly but surely, we find out throughout the story that she has been imaginary friends with this thing. She calls it other mommy, other mother. You cannot not think of Coraline, but very, very much like if Coraline had a terrible ending. So this thing's like, I'm your friend. It would talk to her, laugh with her. It would be like her companion. Her mom and dad are fighting all the time. They drink all the time. And then when she's sad, the creature would comfort her. But over time, the creature's like, hey, I've been your friend for so long. You know what friends do for each other? They allow each other into each other's hearts. So let me go into your heart, and so you can reincarnate me. when little girl keeps misinterpreting that into carnations, like the flowers, but she's saying reincarnate, not carnations. I kind of picked up on that. I wish they would have let that stretch out a little bit longer before they like, oh yeah, you mean this instead. Like, I'm like, oh, they revealed that way too quick. So they let that out of the bag pretty quick, which I thought was kind of lame. They should like let the reader come to the conclusion of what this exactly is. So the daughter gets scared of it now. So this thing that was like her friend is now like constantly asking her, oh, let me into your heart, be for my friend, this is what you'll do for me, help me reincarnate, you're my good friend and I care about you, you would do this for me. So it keeps bugging her. So now the daughter doesn't want this friend anymore. So she feels conflicted, like, oh, we were friends once, and don't friends help each other? So you have that little kid mindset. But this gets multiplied by every time that the parents are fighting, or the parents are, there's a lot of discourse happening in the house, that this monster feeds on that. There is no confirmation of anything that I'm saying, but it just seems like whenever there's lots of discontent going on, the monster's stronger. The monster is able to call to the daughter more. I don't know if that's the feelings feeding off of the daughter or just negative energy in the air. Again, that's another big complaint. There is not enough explanation. I do like mystery, but my God, please give us a little bit more than just like, well, figure it out. So the parents are on thin ice. The mom is, everything is the mom's fault. Her name is Ursula. So that's your first problem. Don't marry a blonde woman named Ursula. They're going to be the worst. She's a piece of crap. She's an awful person. You find out she's awful from the very beginning. Then at the end, when you find out everything went down, she's even more awful. And then after the big reveal, you find out, oh my God, she's even more awful. So everything's her fault. Everything that ever happens to everything bad that happens to all the good people is all because Ursula is a terrible mom who can't just love her life. She has to have everything. The mom drinks a lot. The dad drinks too, but he's more like the average white guy drinking, and the mom is over the top drinking. They have parties and stuff, and they end up having a house party. And the daughter, your kids know things more than you think they do. Like the mom, she noticed how the mom's hanging around this one guy a lot. That's like the friend of the dad. I'm like, oh, she's banging the best friend, which you end up finding out that she is. She's having an affair. The daughter doesn't know that's what's happening, but she still thinks it's kind of weird that how come mommy's not hanging around daddy, and daddy seems happy when mommy's not around, and mommy seems happy when daddy's not around, and they don't hold hands, and they don't do your kids recognize when you aren't affectionate to each other. It's very important for your children to see that you're affectionate with your partner. Anyways, so this monster used to just be in the closet, now is appearing in other places. So at this party, this lady sees the monster. Again, think very Japanese, long blonde hair, or long black hair, I mean. It can get very big. It can like crawl on the ground. So I'm thinking very like body, just like it's like the way that it moves is very unnatural. Some lady sees it, but everyone was drinking. Everyone was doing drugs. Of course, everyone's got to smoke weed everywhere. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. It's awful. Monsters will come and get you. That's the real the moral of the story. But then everyone's like, oh, you were drinking and they were telling scary stories, so you thought you saw something. But the daughter's like, holy crap. Like, other mommy came out of the closet, like, holy crap. And she's supposed to just be in my room. But you get to a incident at the park. The mom took the daughter to a park. She's playing with her friend. And there's a lot of good scares. That's the thing I really do like. There's good scares. Scares that I would love to see in my mind. I visualize if I was going to make the movie of this, what this would look like. So she's talking to her friend, and they're both little kids. She's like, oh, what would happen if someone tried to hurt you? She's like, oh, I'd tell my mom. And, well, what if you didn't want your mom to know? Like, but she's basically asking about what should I do about this monster. Then she starts, talking more and more about it. And the other kid's like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore. You're scaring me. I don't like it. It's not fun. She runs away. She goes up the slide and goes to that little playground, like it's like a play place. The daughter feels bad. She's like, I'm going to apologize to my friend. Climbs up the ladder, goes in a little, like it's like a big treehouse thing. And she hears her friend and she's like, oh, you scared me and that you're not a good friend. But if you were a good friend, you know what you would do? She's like, I'll do anything if we could be friends. You would let me into your heart. And then she's like, holy crap, that's not my friend. That's other mommy in the shadows. And scares her. She falls down the slide. She kind of bumps her head really hard. And then the mom is like, oh no, you jumped down the slide. What's going on? Take her to the hospital just to make sure she's okay. And then the mom is constantly saying, well, I was watching her. But I was doing everything I did. I was being a good mom. I was a good mom. I was there. I was watching her. And everyone's like, no one's accusing you of anything, Ursula. Why are you like jumping to defend yourself so hard when no one said, oh, but if you weren't watching her? No one said that. But she keeps like, as she's talking to the doctor, because she's a terrible mom and she's trying to overcompensate. But we're starting to see more of a psychological thing. And the doctor even kind of picks up on this. I guess she had this whole other mommy thing before in the past, but then she just stopped talking about it because she knew it was scaring her parents. But it never stopped. The other mommy never stopped visiting her. So now other mommy's appearing everywhere the little girl is. So I'm thinking this is a demon of some kind, some type of shade monster thing, because it has physical form, and it's not tied to the house, it's tied to the little girl. So now you have the mom freaking out. They're fighting about it. Of course, she feels like she's failing as a mom because she is failing, because she, honest to God, doesn't like her kid all the time. And that's terrible. You're an awful mom. Guess what? You had a kid and you have a family now. You don't get to go have parties and drink all the time and do all the drugs you want to do and bang all the guys you want to bang. And you're a mom now, and that's fine. You don't have to have that debaucherous life. So she's just resentful that she can't be a slut anymore. That's pretty much what it boils down to. They get, don't talk about this other mommy stuff, and then, kind of coming down on the daughter, and then she gets really sad about it. The mom and dad are fighting. The mom's cheating on the dad. The dad doesn't really know, but he kind of suspects it a little bit. Then this is where things go crazy off the rails, because up to this point, you think maybe this is all the little girl's imagination. She goes upstairs. The little girl's talking to other mommy, and the other mommy's like, hey, let me in your heart, and the whole spiel again. And it was using the mom's voice to the little girl. And then the mom hears her own voice coming out of the bedroom. She's like, whoa, what the hell? Who are you talking to? She opens the door. She sees the other mommy. She sees the monster. And it's big, gigantic, as big as the room. Probably anywhere between 6 to 9 feet tall. But I think other mommy can change its form. So it can get bigger and smaller. I think it could turn into I'm thinking spider, because she says that she has like hairy arms and hairy legs. So I'm thinking like spider. The mom sees her, freaks the hell out, grabs her daughter, runs out of the house with the dad. The dad isn't home yet. There's someone in our house. It looked just like me. And the daughter's like, oh, that's other mommy. That was that friend I was telling you about. So now the mom knows 100% that it's a real thing. It's a monster. It's a ghost. It's a spirit. It's something is in my house coming after my daughter. They freak the hell out. Then the rest of the book is on the road. So incidents around the house, it ends right there. They don't go back to the house at the very end of the book. They basically travel around. They're trying to find like people to help them. They meet the psychic lady. She has psychic friends. And the mom keeps disappearing because she's going to the guy's house to go bang that guy because she's like freaked out of her mind and she just like wants to be away from this situation. Then they have a big seance. They try to tell the monster to go away. One guy communicates with the monster and then he's like, oh, she says she has a present for you. She's talking to the little girl. He's like whispering to her. And I guess he screws up the ritual. And then everyone like, oh no, they break it up. And then they're like, what do you mean she got a gift for you? You find out later that the wife's lover, the person she's having an affair with, the best friend of the dad, he's dead. He's found crumpled up in his closet like a pretzel, like just snapped in half. So did other mommy try to fix their relationship by just thinking, oh, if I kill the lover, then the wife will go back to the husband? So that happened. And then the daughter's like, oh crap, is that the present? Is that the thing that's saying that they were coming to give me a gift? So if they're able to contact this thing through like a ritual, they light candles, they do all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking demon, again, no explanation. No one ever finds out what this thing is. The grandma gets involved. They go to a friend's house. The monster appears there. Everyone gets freaked out and scared. They get kicked out of there. They go to the grandma's house. The grandma's like, oh, what's going on? They try to lie to her. She ends up finding out that they're going through this thing and they're being haunted or whatever. They try to go to a priest. The religion doesn't help them. They end up going to the best friend of the grandma. She has a really big house. And then they have fun. Everyone's having a good time. The mom and dad get super drunk because let's get drunk because that's what you need to do when there's an effing demon going after your daughter. Be completely drunk. That's going to help everybody. Daughter has to go to the bathroom. Another great scare. She goes to the bathroom. She sits on the toilet, but she's like, oh my, this feels weird. She didn't sit on the toilet. She like sat in mommy's lap, other mommy's lap. And it's like, oh, come on, let me have your heart. She starts to scream. The owner of their house goes in there. She sees the monster, like she sees the other mommy. She's like, what the f- is that? Everyone starts freaking out. They get kicked out of that house. So they're just driving around trying to figure out what the hell's going on. They stop like at a diner and they realize, let's just go home. Like they end up saying, figuring out, they go to a couple other places, but it always ends up them leaving and having to go somewhere else. And they end up thinking, just go home. It's following us. We might as well go home. They meet up with that psychic lady again. They go to like a beach and then they have like this is her idea. This is where, okay, people who read the book, is this really the lady or is this the other mother? Because what she suggests ends up making the bad thing happen at the end. She goes, they meet up with her. She's like, hey, I'm sorry about everything that went down. I didn't understand what we were dealing with, but I think this thing is attached to your daughter because she's innocent. And she wants to steal her heart because she has an innocent heart and that's allowed her to be reborn. So your daughter can't be innocent anymore. And I'm thinking, oh God, please, nothing sexual. That is so creepy. No, they just basically say, tell her the truth about everything that happened with your relationship and that will like make her grow up. Which I think was like, what a terrible idea. But I'm like, it kind of makes sense, but it's an awful idea. So basically, not only is the mom a drunk and a cheater on the dad, you find out that she was in another relationship, cheated with the current father on her last husband, and it's the other person's baby. It's the other dad's baby. And then once he found out about the affair, he's like, F you, I don't want nothing to do with you or that damn kid. Then the other dad, the dad now, they call him Dado. He's like, I'll take care of her. I'll raise her as my own. I'll do that because I care about you and I love you. They get married. They end up having the baby. But for as far as the daughter realizes that that's really my real dad, not her real dad. That causes her to be even more depressed, even more like my mom and daddy are liars and I'm going to lie to them and I still see other mommy and I'm not going to tell them and I don't care. Lots of scary scenes because they go to the beach and it's like she can feel that the other mommy's in the ocean and there's like 1,000 arms and she sees her in the clouds and stuff. That would be awesome. Visually, that is amazing. Your imagination just makes all these crazy things, right? So I'm like, that's beautiful. I love that. Even on the car ride home, the mom's fighting. She's like, if this is supposed to keep this monster away from my daughter, I feel like crap. And, you know, this is the thing. I hate the mom. I literally hate Ursula with all my heart and soul. She's like, you know, even after all this, I don't think I've ever learned my lesson. I still hate my kid. I still don't want to watch her. I would pay people to watch my daughter so I can go to a bar and drink and fantasize sleeping with all these other guys. I'm like, why can't the other mommy just kill this lady? She's awful. You're a terrible, awful woman. You suck at being a mom. You just wanted to be a slut, and that's it. And that was everything in your life was just coming from you being a slut. I don't know. People in the world are like that. I don't get it. But she's like saying all this in front of the daughter because she doesn't care anymore. Because now she knows that her mom was a slut, and the other mommy's like coming out of the back seat. You know how you can fold down the seats in most cars and you can get into the trunk? So other mommy's like in the trunk and like her fingers are coming out of the gap. Super cool. Love that. They get back to the house. Grandma's already there. I'm thinking that's other mommy. Like grandma's dead and she took her place. Just like how maybe the psychic lady who suggested this whole innocence lost thing would be good, even though it just turned out really bad. They go home. There everyone's fighting, yelling and screaming at each other. And the mom keeps blaming the dad for being positive about all this and not like blaming her for being a slut. Like, oh, you never got mad at me. What do you want him to do? Beat you up, slap you around? What the hell did you want, Ursula? Like, I don't get it. They're fighting. She goes upstairs. She's like doing a puzzle with her grandma. But I'm thinking she keeps falling asleep because they've been up for days. But then the grandma keeps saying, oh, you know, your heart's a lot bigger than you think it is. You can, you know, have a lot of people live in your heart. So I'm thinking she's like setting her up to like give her heart to other mommy. She hears like a voice upstairs like, oh, grandma must have went upstairs. They were doing a puzzle. But in the puzzle, you can start seeing ghosts and stuff in the puzzle, like the spirit of that lady and everything. So I'm like, that's really cool. I like that visual. She goes upstairs, finds grandma dead in the closet. Again, just like the other guy, snapped in half, like folded up like she has her arms folded and everything. She's dead. Grandma's dead. She screams. The parents run upstairs. The little girl passes out. She wakes up. Mommy's on the ground, face down. Daddy's on the ground, face down. So I'm assuming they're dead. Other mommy's like, hey, give me your heart. Come on, be a good friend. She finally says yes. Then this is where people who've read this book, explain to me what the hell happened. They said they would switch places. So other mommy is now in the little girl's body. The little girl she's like in a dark place. So she doesn't have a physical form anymore? So she's like a spirit? And it's like, well, maybe in this place I can have real friends because this is why this happened to me, because I didn't have friends and I didn't have anyone real in my life. So is this little girl doomed to become another monster to steal another little girl so she can live again? Is this like a never ending cycle? Or is this like she's a spirit and there's like a way for her to get back? Is this like another realm of existence? Are there other people there? They don't explain anything. Also, now that other mommy is in the little girl's body, is she now in a house with a dead grandma and a dead mom and a dead mother, just in a house with everyone's dead? And so what's she going to do? She's in a little girl body. Does she have powers? Is she just a little girl? So she's going to end up having to go to like an orphanage or something, right? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what exactly happened in the end? So awful ending. Everyone dies. The little girl goes to some shadow. She gets banished to the shadow realm like she's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So what the heck? Why do people like this book? Again, I like the setups for the scares. There's also like a monster hunter guy that gets involved and doesn't do anything. What a waste of a character. I love the scares. The scares are great. They're wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I love the perspective of the story being told from the child. Super cool because there's things that they don't understand. Everything else sucked. I don't know. Everything else about it kind of sucked, and characters coming in and out of the story, they don't do anything. They end up getting these guard dogs. They don't do anything. They get like the security system that doesn't do anything. So, you know, it's just a lot of emptiness. The book could have been a lot shorter and just disappointed. 4 out of 10. Just less than okay. So just meh. I give it a meh. It's a meh storyline. But yeah, more book reviews maybe. I read a ton of books. I've read like 15, 20 books. I haven't read books probably since high school. And so that was like a long time ago. But I used to read all the time. And now I'm back into reading because I think it's important to read stories. And your mind can create a better movie than any director in the world. Because like the way I described, the way I saw this monster and the way that it interacted with the girl in my mind can never match what's on the screen. So overall, just okay. I need good book recommendations. Give me good scary books. I want a book that's going to scare my pants off, but has a good ending and not just like, the ending is everybody dies. That's such a stupid ending that is so simple and so easy to do. Anyone can write everybody dies. Blah. But let me know in the comments, do you guys like book reviews? Do you want these longer book reviews? I did short book reviews. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because it kind of frustrated me at the ending. But thanks for watching, guys. There's tons of content out there. Share it with me. DM me on Twitter, on X. Hit me up on Discord. I got an email on my YouTube page. Any of those things, you can contact me. Let me know about stuff, and I'll see if I can check it out. Thank you guys. Love you all. Catch you on the next one. Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.